Never really seen that kind of information portrayed like that. It's very important for us to make the awareness now before it is too late.
Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I have Susan and Gary. They are beginning a charity, or they've been starting up a charity called Blue Seas Protection. So I'm going to ask them a couple of questions about their charity, and then I'm going to show them a video and get some feedback about the video.
Unfortunately, there is no such thing as sustainable seafood. With whales dying from starvation and 90% of all large fish species gone.
Then I'm going to ask them some questions about how they feel about the video as well. Gary, could you just tell me a bit about what your background is?
Yes, hi everybody. I've been a professional diver for 45 years. That's diving all over intercontinental and a lot of ocean shipwrecks, as well as the civil engineering industry and Ministry of Defence work. So it's all kinds of diving that I've done, and it's over those 45 years that I've seen horrendous devastation caused to our oceans, and it's really on a holocaustic level. My diving career has been a kind of unique, that we have owned and operated our own diving salvage companies. During those wreck dives, I've noticed on a huge scale the nets that are abandoned by fishermen, which continue catching virtually forever, as they're non-biodegradable. These are nylon nets. In my experience of what I've seen is that they actually form carpets of skeleton on the seabed. All that you can see in every direction where you can swim is white bleached skeleton. Literally millions of creatures caught in one net.
So have you seen the nets yourself actually in person as well?
Yes, the nets have been, they're so horrific that I've had nightmares over them for many years, seeing the fish struggling and swimming, exhausting themselves, trying to free themselves from the nets, and then eventually losing all strength, dying. It's an horrendous death. It's unnecessary, and it's got to stop.
As a charity, what kind of things are you planning to do in order to prevent this kind of thing from happening?
Our first approach is to make awareness, public awareness, to what actually is going on, as these things are often out of sight, out of mind. So firstly, we intend to lobby government, lobby United Nations, major authorities, fishermen, fishing companies.
We want to ask that the nets be made biodegradable and trackable as well.
Nets are now supposed to be reported by fishermen. Lost nets are supposed to be reported by fishermen to the MMO. So far, there's no records of any lost nets being reported, so the crime continues. There doesn't seem to be enforcement. The nets themselves need to be serial numbered, identified, microchipped, whatever means, so that they can be traced back to the owner or the fisherman that deployed the nets. If it's traced back to the owner, then it can be recovered. That's the main objective of our charity, that we make those recoveries.
Wow, so it sounds like you guys are doing a lot of work. I just would like to show you guys and everybody this video that I have. It's by Bite Size Vegan, and you may have seen it before, but I just want to get these guys' reactions, and then I'm going to ask them a couple of questions about that as well.
The health of our oceans is absolutely vital to all life on this planet, including those of us on land. But now,
The oceans are facing total destruction. With the rise of commercial fishing methods, pollution, runoff, and
Habitat destruction, marine animal populations are no longer able to replenish themselves fast enough. This video is going to look into the vital question: is our ocean running out of fish? And if so, what is the implication for life on this planet?
90 to 100 million tons of fish are pulled from our oceans each year, with some sources even estimating 150 million tons. The FAO found that 87.3% of fish stocks were fully exploited or overexploited. However, comparing this figure to the reports before and after is no easy feat. In 2010 and 2012 reports, the FAO had reduced its level of exploitation terminology from 6 to 3 categories. Now, in the most recent report from 2014, they've further clouded the issue, replacing exploited with fished, and introducing 2 vague categories termed sustainable and unsustainable levels.
Terminology has the dual effect of both making situations sound less dire and making the comparison between reports unnecessarily difficult. But when you pick through the data and unravel the terminology, the upward trend of fish stock depletion becomes clear. The bottom line is that as of the most current report from 2014 using 2011 data, less than 10% of our world's fisheries remain unexploited.
Far more devastating
Are those non-target species unintentionally captured, termed bycatch, or more accurately, bykill. According to the FAO, for every 1 pound of fish caught, up to 5 pounds of unintended marine species are caught and discarded as bykill. Though figures can be as high as 20 pounds of untargeted species for every pound of targeted animals killed.
All of the industrial fishing methods used around the world come with the high cost of bycatch. Trawling, the primary method used for shrimp, is often referred to as the ocean equivalent of clear-cutting rainforest, with 80 to 98% of unintended catches being thrown back into the sea, dead. It's estimated that 650,000 marine mammals, including whales, dolphins, and seals, are killed or seriously injured every year by commercial fisheries outside the United States. Because of this, almost every foreign fish product sold in the United States enters the U.S. market in violation of federal law. With 90% of all seafood consumed in the United States coming from foreign sources, this means that the American seafood industry has a large hand in devastating marine mammal populations.
With 73 million sharks killed every year for the shark fin industry, and 40 to 50 million sharks dying every year as bykill,
the ocean's most vital predators are under attack. Oceana and other major ocean defense organizations propose that the solution to the decimation of ocean life is to eat sustainable seafood. Unfortunately, there is no such thing as sustainable seafood.
with whales dying from starvation,
And 90% of all large fish species gone, the ocean can't even sustain itself, let alone the up to 150 million tons of sea life we pull from it every year. Unless action is taken now, the consequences of our activities are at a high risk of causing, through the combined effects of climate change, overexploitation, pollution, and habitat loss, the next globally significant extinction event in the ocean. So what about farming fish? Isn't that the ideal solution? Wouldn't it reduce the amount of fish we're taking from the sea? Fish farms actually increase the number of wild fish caught, because farmed carnivorous species require large inputs of wild fish for feed. The bottom line is that there is no way to fish sustainably.
we have to stop fishing. And we have to call for the organizations charged with the duty of protecting our oceans to actually protect them.
Hi guys, so we just finished watching the video by Bite Size Vegan. I will put a link to that video in the description box below. I'm just going to ask a couple of questions now about what they think of the video. Have you seen anything like that before? What other kind of things would you recommend for people to see in regards to that kind of information?
I've never really seen that kind of information portrayed like that. It's even more devastating than I thought. The deception that the fishing industry is giving to world organisations and to the public, the manipulation of figures to show that sustainable fishing is actually feasible. It is not feasible. There is no sustainable fishing. It can't work. The oceans cannot support the level of destruction and overfishing that's going on.
How does it make you feel when you see things like that? Does it make you feel even more fired up to create a change?
It's very important for us to make the awareness now before it is too late. In my commercial diving short term of 30-40 years, I've seen the seabed devastated in our local waters around the Isle of Wight and on the south coast of England. So globally, these are very frightening statistics. The public must listen now.
If everyone went vegan, we wouldn't have these problems. The whole world would be able to survive quite happily on fruit and vegetables and grains, and fish wouldn't be fed to pigs and chickens and cattle.
You know, generally, people are good people and they will make the right decision once they're aware of what's going on and once they're educated. So education is such a powerful thing. So I really like the fact that a lot of the work that you're doing is about raising awareness and telling people about it. Because a lot of people just plainly aren't aware of this kind of thing going on. So it's really good that you guys are doing that.
Jules.
Okay, do you want to start now?